for one, know of no sweeter sight for a man's eyes than his own country. Said long before America blazed her trail to freedom, yet truer words were never spoken. From the historic land of the Minutemen and the ride of Paul Revere comes a journey by sea that turns back the hands of time. Join us as Royal Viking Line explores the New England coast in the land of our founding fathers and ventures up to scenic Canada through the waterways of the North. Come, discover the Americas in our own backyard on a 7 or 14-day journey through the heritage of our homeland. From New York, you'll cruise through the pages of American history to New England favorites like Boston, Bar Harbor, and Newport. Explore the beauty of our neighbors to the north in Quebec and Montreal, Canada, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and the tiny French islands of St. Pierre and Miquelon. You'll cruise in the comfort of Royal Viking's grandeur, with service as attentive and elegant as the mansions of proper Boston. We'll sail into New England harbors that boast a richness of America's past. Boston, the cradle of liberty, the birthplace of the nation. Some have even called it a state of mind, where old world convictions meet modern day ways, and heritage and bloodlines run deep. From the stately affluence of Beacon Hill to the landmarks and plaques that line the Freedom Trail, you'll be able to walk in the footsteps of those who paved the path to independence. History comes alive on almost every corner, from the old North Church and the cries of Paul Revere to the gaslit lanterns in old colonial homes. Relive the Boston Tea Party on an authentic replica ship. See the old Boston reflected in the new as Trinity Church bumps up against Hancock Tower. Or take a day trip to the historic greens of Lexington and Concord, where the old North Bridge and Minuteman statue commemorate the farmers who stood their ground against the British troops. There's a certain mystique about the Cape that envelops the eastern seaboard. Hyannisport, Martha's Vineyard, Buzzards Bay. It's the vacation land of the wealthy and playground of the yachtsman. Awaken to a spritz of sea mist and early riser's coffee. Stand on deck for a daylight transit of the Cape Cod Canal. Take a tour of the bridge as officers keep watch, enjoying the spectacular view of New England by sea. Rugged terrain stretches over 3,500 miles of Maine's scenic coastline. Lighthouses wink at passers-by. Ocean crashes against jagged rocks, and seagulls herald your arrival at the picturesque port of Bar Harbor. Samuel de Champlain first spotted the island in 1604. By the 1800s, it was infiltrated by artists and vacationers, lured by the scenic beauty. Then came the Astors, the Rockefellers, and prominent Eastern families who built their dream cottages. Today, fishing vessels reel in the catch of the day, and people come from miles to see Maine's timeless beauty. At Acadia National Park, panoramic views depict a rustic natural paradise with 142 miles of hiking area, bike paths, bridle trails, and a serenity so many desire. Feast on the delicious and famed Maine lobster, piping hot and drizzled with butter. Try the fresh steamed clams just out of the bay, or corn on the cob at an outdoor cookout. There's an atmosphere of quaint New England charm and hearty American fun on this secluded island getaway. As we glide through American waterways, we thought it fitting to host some of the classics in our theater at sea. One-man dramas come to life as special guest performers turn into favorites like Mark Twain and Clarence Darrow for the night. Take a spin at Lady Luck in the casino. Ante up with newfound friends. The evening turns to morning before you even know it. From the Newport Bay Club to the harbor dotted with pleasure crafts, the people of the city have a romance with the sea. Oscar Wilde described the area as a place where idleness ranks among its virtues. You'll see this in the elegance and grace of Newport's finest mansions, monuments of grandeur from the fabulous Gilded Age. See the breakers, Marble House, the elms, and more, filled with tapestries, chandeliers, frescoes, and statues as you meander through carefully manicured gardens, palatial cottages, and elaborate restored homes. Many also find yachting just a pastime of leisure, but some take the sporting life very seriously. Watch the sailboats heel over in competitive drive, as if each race were for the America's Cup. As we leave the United States to cruise the scenic waterways of our North American neighbors, you'll sense a European flavor with all the friendliness of home. In Quebec, the French joie de vivre is immediately apparent as Le Chateau Frontenac welcomes you in stately splendor. From its history of being a French fur trading base to the language, cuisine, and proud heritage of her people, Quebec has come to be known as the most European city on the North American continent. Shop for original works by local artisans in the heart of this old walled city. Visit the landscaped grounds of the government buildings, seat of the National Assembly. You may even find yourself in the middle of pomp and pageantry without expecting it. For like Boston, there's pride and history on almost every rue. Come home to Royal Viking's European style. Your ship rivals all in spaciousness, elegance, and understated finery. Enjoy canapes with friends. Toast your day's events. And glide on to the beautiful city of Montreal. Site of the 76 Summer Olympics, film festivals, and conventions galore, Montreal is Canada's largest city. You can leave or join the ship here for our 7-day cruises, but many prefer the full fortnight's journey to absorb this cosmopolitan city. The financial district alone is home to over 5,000 corporations and countless deals in the making. Millions were invested to restore old Montreal, to bring the heart of the city into harmony with the rest of the island's multifaceted charm. Visit the original residence of the French governor, Chateau de Ramsay, brimming with 16th century paintings and furnishings. Teardrops of crystal dangle from magnificent chandeliers. Antique clocks tell the time of another age, and elaborate rooms host distinguished guests out of the pages of history. The scenery in the Americas is truly majestic, from the St. Lawrence Riverway to the Saguenay. Curl up with a good book on deck. Ask for cocktail service, whatever you need. Cruising creates unusual joys that no other transport can offer. Nova Scotia, Latin for New Scotland. The name of the province itself evokes the magic rhythms of the sea, with its clifftop views, intimate coves, and rugged, unspoiled coastline. Some say the Vikings may have sighted the shores as early as AD 1000. Today, it seems fitting that our own Viking adventure brings us to the capital city of Halifax. Peggy's Cove has a bewitching spell on artists and shutterbugs. The lighthouse, perched on the tip of the lookout point, is an inspiring, dramatic symbol of the sea. Explore the tides of history absorbing the salty flavor of this oceanside capital city. Throughout your cruise through the Americas, you'll be pampered like royalty with five-star cuisine and excellent wines. This year, learn special tips from the masters as noted vintners, knowledgeable sommeliers, and wine critics join us aboard. Then sip a glass of wine at the Hotel Roberts Prohibition exhibit on the tiny islands of St. Pierre and Miquelon. Discovering the Americas is like opening your eyes to a romance taken for granted. You'll sail round trip from New York, whose harbor and Statue of Liberty have embraced the dreams of immigrants and visitors. Everyone seems to get caught in the whirlwind of energy and action. There's so much happening, you'll need extra days to absorb the bustling excitement. So we've put together optional land programs to extend your stay. This year, you might want to combine New England with a voyage through the Panama Canal for our 33-day Circle America cruise. Come, experience the forgotten joys of America's own unique beauty. You may find a surge of patriotism and echo the thoughts of James Bryce, who said, "America excites an admiration which must be felt on the spot to be understood."